Hello, welcome to the Sober Bartender podcast, the show where we recover from life. I'm your host, Brandi Kelly. So, we're doing another Sober Summer Series episode, and this one is called Back to Basics. So, the last couple weeks, I've just felt a little off the beam. I have this idea of myself that I should be high vibing and just exuding this light all the time. And that's just not the case. That's not realistic. And that's expecting a level of perfection for myself that easily leads to disappointment. And I don't notice that I'm caught up in that until I'm feeling really low and I'm feeling really empty. And so the best solution I know is to get back to the basics. So after recognizing that I'm not feeling great, I'm just not feeling like myself. I'm getting easily agitated in traffic. I'm not coming home feeling fulfilled from my work. Do I quit and find a new job? No, those major changes driven by my feelings of discomfort are not ever the answer. Like, the answer is always in me. And then when I make a change in me, then I can make choices from a healthy place of feeling. So I just kind of wanted to share with you what my basics are. Like, this is my process for when I'm feeling low. Like, I'm feeling overwhelmed. I'm feeling short-tempered. Just a mild irritation a lot of the time, and not a lot of self-compassion, not a lot of self-empathy. So I wake up and I start my day with gratitude. That is what I did in the beginning of my recovery, in the beginning of my sobriety. I started with a 10-item gratitude list that I would send to my then sponsor every morning. So now I do that with myself instead of having someone that I send that to. That's just something that I do, and I hold myself accountable for that. So I wake up and I list at least 10 things that I'm grateful for. And for some people, this can be kind of challenging or seem like a silly exercise. But what it actually does is puts you in a mindset of, instead of looking at everything that is wrong, looking at everything that is right, and remembering that you have amazingly good things happening in your life, because it's really hard to see those things when we're in a hole, when we're in a rut, when we're in the dark. So like, if I'm struggling with my job, then I definitely look for the things about my job that I am grateful for. If I am lacking in finances or in money, then I look for the reasons that I have to be grateful for the finances that I do have and the money that I do have, and the things that I get to spend that money on that I'm very thankful for, like water and electricity and rent. If I start to feel like I don't want to be where I'm at, then I get grateful for my living situation. I look at my home and I think about all of the memories that I have here, and my beautiful backyard, and just the comfort and the safety that I find in being here. And then I zoom out and I look at my city and the amazing connections that I've made, and the friendships that have come out of being here, and the growth that I've experienced getting to start out my, the first year of our marriage in a brand new place. So while I miss family, it's also been really neat getting to just build this really close bond, to rely on each other, my partner and I. And then I zoom out from that and I look at this planet, and about the fact that, it's just crazy that we exist. It's a miracle. It's amazing. It's unfathomable. Like, we can't even begin to comprehend our existence on this planet. And I get really thankful to be alive and to wake up each day. I do look at my relationships because, when you're feeling down, sometimes you feel like people don't have time for you, or you feel like a burden. Um, those, your mind can tell you a lot of things that aren't true. And so when I sit and I include those relationships in my gratitude list, then I remember that people being busy isn't personal. I remember that, everyone is doing their thing, but that I am loved and supported, and I am guided, and I am connected as much as I choose to be. When I feel disconnected, it's because I've unplugged myself. And this helps me plug back in. And a big thing is my growth in recovery. That's something that I try to focus my gratitude on. And I recommend, if you're new in recovery, is to focus on the things that you have gained by not waking up hungover or still being completely controlled by the substance. Because if I rewind just a few years, every single morning I was totally controlled by the desire to use. I was controlled by, just this urge to drink and the obsession of, okay, I'm not going to drink today, but if I go here, maybe I can squeeze a drink in, or, brushing my teeth and throwing up because I'm so hungover. Those things they aren't anywhere in my reality now, but at one time that was my normal. And that just brings me so much relief and so much peace and so much joy. I don't look back, and it doesn't make me upset that they happened. It makes me so thankful that I made it out of that. They say this too shall pass, and thank God that passed, because that could very well be my reality if I was even still alive. So in the morning, I do a gratitude list, and then I like to do a required reading for myself. And this, it can be a self-help book. It can be a recovery book. It can be, a spiritual book. Right now I'm reading, my mom got me a book for my birthday, and she knows me best. And she got me, I think it's called, I don't have it in my office. It's called like the Magical Mala or something like that. But she got me these beautiful mala beads, and she got me this book, and it's a fiction book, and I don't typically read fiction, but when I do, she picks the best ones for me, and I just get sucked into them and can't put them down. So I do like to dedicate at least 10 minutes in my morning practice to reading. And then after that, I do a prayer, meditation, and then a practice with the mala. And then I do journal as well as set intentions. So this is in the morning. And these are things that I did for the first 2 years of my recovery. And lately I have not. I've got to be honest. Like, I walked away from my 12-step recovery and I entered recovery Dharma, and just felt like I could rely on myself a little bit more and less on that structure that had gotten me thus far. And I can say that without the accountability to someone else, I have not been holding myself accountable to continue these practices that make me feel grounded and connected and plugged in. So they say that pain is a great motivator, and I'm struggling a little bit. So I am motivated to get myself accountable to get back to the practices that have got me here. So that's just in the morning. So that does require getting up a little bit earlier, but it also is worth it, because I think getting up 30 minutes earlier and being a little tired is worth what I get out of it throughout my day. So as I go through my day, I do set a reminder, like little mini meditation breaks, and that's not like a full on sitting down, but just more of a just focusing on my breath, focusing on my heart space, focusing on just coming back to center and remembering that I am magical and I am powerful and I am the creator of my reality. So if my reality is a dark place, then I am creating that and I can choose again. I can choose to see things from a loving perspective. And so I do have little reminder breaks set throughout the day. Another thing that I do that is one of the absolute basics is to have a daily contact with a close friend, ideally someone else who is in recovery or is on a similar journey that is aware of what I'm trying to accomplish. That touching base with someone, just to be connected to them and to be honest with someone else about where I'm at. That's important, especially when I'm feeling low. And then meetings. I'm not going to 12-step meetings currently, and those are plentiful. Whereas Recovery Dharma meetings, we do have 3 here in Corpus Christi currently. But what I'm going to do is look online and see if I can't find some Zoom meetings to attend. But I'm not opposed to going back to 12-step rooms. I just want to make sure that I have a secure feeling of like I'm secure in my place of being able to meet everyone where they're at and not take things personally and not, I guess, be offended by the things that I don't agree with. But those things are absolutely crucial in these low points, unless I want to sit in my shit, because I sure do like to do that too. We feel bad and then we give ourselves more and more reasons that we deserve to feel bad. And we tell ourselves the stories and we think about our past experiences, and those things kind of help fuel us into staying there. I don't like staying there. I choose joy. So when I'm not choosing joy, I want to get out of that space. So at night, I just begun doing a nightly inventory once again, where I do look at how I was feeling throughout the day, how I treated people. Did I treat people, with loving kindness? Was I selfish? And that helps me gauge and see where I need to give myself a little more love and maybe where I'm hurting. And then I also get grateful at night, just a prayer of gratitude, because every night I go to bed and I feel happy. I feel thankful. I feel fulfilled. There are some things going on in my life that are out of my control. There are some things going on in my life that are in my control. And I haven't mustered up the oomph to make a change. I've been a bartender for 20 years in October, and I feel like I'm pretty good at it. And as far as making a living goes, you can live anywhere and find a job. And, with that on your resume, you can pretty much go anywhere and get hired. And so I have found great success in bartending, but I also have lost my love for it. I no longer feel like I'm providing a service by providing, alcohol to people. And there are days that I can see that differently and just see that everybody is on their path, and, not everybody has a problem with alcohol. So I am just serving, in the literal sense and in the spiritual sense. But also, like I said, it doesn't bring me joy. And so the discomfort in that continues to build. And, there's a lot of fear in making a move, in trying something different. So just kind of in a little growing pain space, I suppose. But I'm not going to stay here. I don't need to change how I feel, but I absolutely do need to support myself. It's my responsibility to make sure that I'm okay. It's my responsibility to reach out and let other people know when I'm not okay. And it's also okay to not be okay, because this too shall pass. I hope y'all are enjoying your summer. Today we got to go to the beach and we celebrated our little boy dog Chunk's 3rd birthday. And we had little party hats on him and Luna. And then we got little puppuccinos. And then he bounces over the waves like a little dolphin. It was just a nice little afternoon. And I'm so thankful that I get to do these things. I'm so glad that this is where my life is at, and this is who my life is with. And I'm actually really, really proud of who I am, of who I get to be today. I don't have it all figured out. I'm not as dependable as I would like to be, and I'm not as outgoing as I would like to be, and I don't reach out to people as often as I would like to. But if I don't focus on all those things that aren't my favorite things, I've come a long way, and I'm really thankful for the woman that I am today. She's strong. She is a force to be reckoned with. I wouldn't want to be anybody else. I want to thank you guys so much for listening. If you enjoy the show, please take time on Apple or on Spotify to go in and follow, subscribe, rate, and review on YouTube. If you could hit like and subscribe, that's phenomenal. That helps us get seen. That helps us get heard. It helps carry the message to the people that need to hear it. If you have any topics that you'd like to hear discussed on this show, please feel free to reach out to me. Or if you have comments, concerns, Brandi Kelly on Facebook. There's the Sober Bartender Facebook group. That's a private group, but I'll let you in. And then the Sober Bartender podcast on Instagram. And if you're struggling, I just want to let you know that you are going to get through this, and you matter. And I am so glad that you are here. Thank you again for listening, and I will talk to you again next Wednesday.